Hello folks, I am your host Ali Raj and you are watching Gaslightman. Introduction to SageMaker. Where Jupyter notebook that is running in the SageMaker. So let's me go ahead and get started with an introduction and key learning outcomes. So here are the key learning outcomes that we are going to cover today. So first we are going to understand Amazon SageMaker components and the overall architecture. And then we will learn how to build and train a simple machine learning model. And that is going to be our first machine learning model. And we are going to use Amazon SageMaker Canvas. Amazon SageMaker Canvas will allow anyone to build and train the machine learning models and without writing any code. So just through here, and because we are still in the introductory lecture, just wanted to give you an insight of how easy it is to build really powerful machine learning models, again with zero coding. So please note that we are going to have a detailed lecture coming up later in this course. We are going to dig a little bit deeper into the Amazon SageMaker Canvas and use a little more advanced datasets. Afterward, we will go over Amazon SageMaker demo and walk through, so we will learn about that as well. So I am going to show you guys kind of an Amazon SageMaker from a very high level. How does it work? What are the different features in it? And how to train your model, how to deploy model, and how to label datasets as well. And then afterward we will learn how to write your first code in SageMaker notebook, and then we will be learn about Amazon SageMaker Studio key capabilities. And then afterward I am going to show you guys how to run a demo of a trained model in the AWS SageMaker marketplace, and there we are going to be a super fun as well. And then finally I am going to have a final end of day capstone project in which I am going to provide you guys with a brand new dataset, and then I am going to ask you to go ahead and build and train a machine learning model using Amazon SageMaker Canvas. So we have a lot to learn today, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and learn about the Amazon SageMaker in general. So Amazon SageMaker is a fully managed machine learning workflow platform that provides the simply services on the data labeling, on the model building, on training, on inferences, and on deployment. Essentially, you don't need to worry about the setting up any infrastructure or environment, any of that. All I need to do is to use Amazon SageMaker, and essentially it is a fully managed service. It contains everything in there and it has tons and tons of capabilities. SageMaker is really powerful because it allows data scientists and developers to build scalable AI models easily and efficiently. So we can essentially train our machine learning model and also deploy it as well using Amazon SageMaker without buying or provisioning any services on your own. And that's again really powerful model can be deployed in production at a much faster rate compared to just traditional strategies, and of course at a fraction of the cost. And these are the different, I would say, key capabilities when it comes to the Amazon SageMaker. First, you can build your own model. So Amazon SageMaker offers data labeling services, so you can essentially leverage some of the datasets available out there, and you can also use some of the pre-built available notebooks with the state-of-the-art algorithms. So there are the algorithms available right there, and we are already trained already, so you don't need go ahead and kind of the reinvent the wheels. And that's the actually one of the example that I'm going to show you here is how we can run a demo of a trained model using AWS SageMaker marketplace. And of course, if you would like to label your data, we are going to use as well Amazon SageMaker Ground Truth, and Ground Truth can be used to essentially allow you to label your data. And again, we are going to have a entire day coming up where we are going to dig a little bit deeper into the Amazon SageMaker now, and then you can go ahead and also train your model. You can train your model using EC2 instances, okay, and that will be either on demand or the spot instances. And you can also manage environment as well for training. and you can also perform hyperparameters optimization and tool as well within Amazon SageMaker. And then finally, after you have built your model and after you train your model, you can go ahead and deploy the model as well. So easily deploy and scale your model, and of course you can use what we call it auto scaling that could save up to 75% essentially operational cost instead of using a dedicated essentialist deployment. And please don't worry if you don't fully grasp what is going on in here. Don't worry, we can have a tons of content coming up. We are also going a little bit deeper into the build, train and deploy as well. Okay, so here an overview of Amazon SageMaker training and deployment kind of from a very high level. Basically just want you to get an idea of what's going on in here when we train any machine learning models using Amazon SageMaker. So what we have here is that the rectangle is my Amazon SageMaker. On the left side I have my S3, and please note that when we train any model, I need to the first upload my data to S3. So I need to make sure that my training data here is available in S3 bucket. That is the first step. And then what's going to happen is, in order for Amazon SageMaker to train your model, basically it will essentially leverage the data that is contained in S3 bucket, and it will also require the training code image, and the training code image is contained in what we call it as EC2 container registry. Essentially it is an image of the actual code, so you need to the code, so you need the data, and then SageMaker is going to leverage some of the machine learning compute instances to train your model here. And then once the model is trained, the trained model artifacts, so basically the trained model is going to also be stored in Amazon S3 as well. So it's going to be in any other bucket where we are a prefix, I would say, what a subfolder within the bucket where we are going to store and train model artifacts to do afterwards. I'm going to grab that train model, and then I'm going to go ahead and actively deploy it. And basically I'm gonna grab that intelligence and deploy it in the cloud. And again, to do that, I'm going to need the inference image here. Again, it's contained in the EC2 container registry, and then afterwards you can have an endpoint in here. So people, customer, clients can go ahead and leverage the endpoint to send to the data and receive the prediction, receive guesses or prediction from my model. Please note that again, it is a very high level, pretty high level overview of Amazon SageMaker training piece and the deployment as well. And we are going through the cover of these in greater detail coming up next. So here it is a couple of key components. So as I mentioned, two components are present within Amazon SageMaker. So we have the model training piece, and then the model deployment piece, and the Amazon SageMaker. Again, it is a fully integrated, provides all these different services available for you. In order for you to get started the training job within the Amazon SageMaker, first you need your data that is available in S3 bucket. So Amazon S3 bucket URL, so that's when the training data is stored. You also need compute resources. Well, Amazon SageMaker needs to run essentially the code and the data on the compute, right, on the compute resources, and that's again available within EC2. And then I also need to location or a bucket where I'm going to store the trained model artifacts after the model is trained. So I need to go ahead and upload that data somewhere. So I need to specify as well as the location of the bucket where I want to store the trained model artifacts, and then finally add Amazon Elastic Container Registry. Or if you guys remember, here we had the EC210 registry. This is simply where the training code and also the inference code images are contained. And this bucket, I'm sorry, here where training code is stored. And then finally Amazon SageMaker use training code, of course, so I need the training code and I need the training data sets. So let's back. I need my code here and I need my training data, and Amazon SageMaker will do that, made the model. and then afterwards I will deploy the model. And of course, as I mentioned, Amazon SageMaker saves the 3 model artifacts on an S3 bucket. So there are many options available for you to train model within SageMaker. You can use some of the algorithms, these are built in within SageMaker. So Amazon SageMaker offers a lot of algorithms. Some of them are the linear learner, and also we will cover that in great detail. We can also have the activity boost algorithm, we also have k-mean, we have the k nearest neighbor, we can have the principal component analysis, we can also do image classification, we can also deal with the test data. Many options available for you, and that will be an easy way to essentially set up the going and writing your code from scratch. You can go ahead and leverage all of these algorithms that are already offered by Amazon, and of course developed by state of the art. Essentially people are expert in the machine learning. So it is actually a really powerful algorithm available. You can also use your custom code training using the popular deep learning frameworks. So for example, if you are familiar with let's say TensorFlow, which is the Google framework to build and train the machine learning model, you can use a custom code as well within the SageMaker. You can do that. You can also use your own custom algorithms. So for example, if you say, let's say develop your code in, let's say Python, so for example, and you wanted to integrate that within Amazon SageMaker, you can also do that by developing the Docker container. And please don't worry about that. Again, we are going to cover it in great detail. We just wanted to show you the options that are available. You can use Amazon SageMaker built-in algorithm. You can use, let's say, TensorFlow or PyTorch, any of these available frameworks. You can also use your own custom algorithm. You can also use AWS Marketplace, which is super powerful and kind of scary as well. They say, because think of it as no, instead of Amazon selling you different product here, I can essentially these are rent a train brain. It's like a little mini brain where you can go ahead and leverage that. I am going to guys show you an example coming up today where we are going to leverage an object detector, essentially algorithms that has already been pre-trained before. So everything is trained. User can go ahead and essentially pay per use. Okay, pay per hour, for example, or pay per inferences, or I have included a link as well here to the marketplace. And then finally you can use as well Apache Spark with Amazon SageMaker. Again, don't worry about that. I just wanted to show you guys the different options that are available, and that's simply all I have for this introductory lecture. I hope you guys enjoy it. In the next lecture, let's go ahead and get started with the demo. I am going also walk you guys through the Amazon Sage Market, and then we will get started with our notebook instances and how we can write our first started using the Jupyter notebooks. They send you the best of luck. I will see you guys in the next lesson. Bye bye.
गेट साइटमेंट को लाइक करें, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को दबा दें ताकि इस जैसी अपडेट्स आपको मिलती रहें।